I'm with my friend Neil Talmy, who's the pastor of the church. Say hello, Neil.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Rob.
You will notice he's got a few sweets in his mouth. That's the way he's going to be today, I think.
You did say settle down and get some sweets, Rob.
And
drinking the coffee.
Yeah. He's having the coffee as well. At the end of this podcast, Neil will give his email address, possibly mine, or link to the church. We'd love your feedback. It's pointless us just spouting into a microphone in the studio if no one's listening or if no one cares. We've got a couple of online videos, and Neil and I did one a while back. And he actually said a great quote in it. People go to church to find God. And I'll quote you from it. Was God lost? Did he not know where he was? Excuse me, can you tell me where I am? God is everywhere. And God is constantly talking to people all the time. You know, saying, come to me, all you who are weary, heavy loaded. Always talking to you. God is never lost. We're lost. I was lost. I'm not anymore. It doesn't mean life is fantastic. It doesn't mean I don't have problems. But it does mean that, as Neil quite rightly say, I don't need to go to church to find God. God does not live in a building. On a Sunday night, we lock the door and we lock God inside our church building. Impossible. But that's the misconception people have. So, dear listener, again, if you listen to this and think that, you know, I got a great church in my local town, I go there every Sunday, I join in the services, are we now telling you that you're not a good person? Of course we're not. We're not saying you're not a bad person. We're just explaining that you need to broaden your horizons. God is everywhere.
All right, Rob, you are media mad. I don't think everyone quite gets you sometimes, and they look at what you've got in your house. Just to explain, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 Macs on one desk at the moment. There's recording equipment around. There's film editing software that you've got Final Cut Pro. Are you just a techno geek, and you're just completely obsessed with anything associated with media, or are you? What drives you? I guess what is the root to your passion that means you've got all this equipment?
That is very powerful, and I have to address that in a way that I think is structured for the listener. First of all, God says, if you don't love me, then you'll replace me with something else. And he called it an idol, a passion, sport, drinking, rugby, booze, whatever. My passion is technology. I am a geekhead. I love that stuff. But I learned a long time ago to use it as a tool to express my faith. So my technology is definitely a tool for me. That doesn't mean I wouldn't be broken-hearted if I genuinely thought God was saying, Rob, step back from media, it's finished, I want you to do something else. I would be disappointed because I genuinely feel I have a call to use this equipment, but I use it for good. I make sure that this equipment allows Neil, myself, and whoever to come to your house, to come in your ears if you listen to this on an iPod Touch, walking on the street or on a bus, on a boat, wherever you are. And what should be happening now is that you get a real sense that, number one, these guys aren't after my money. They're not here to sell anything. They're actually genuinely interested in me. And why are they interested? Because we have something incredible to tell you. That's my passion, and the media is just the vehicle.
Why are you so passionate about that, Rob? Why can the listener not think, well, that's fine for you, but that's what you're into? Why are you so passionate for other people to know what you're into? Why don't you just keep that to yourself? What is the truth behind what you believe that makes you passionate enough to want to tell so many more people?
That's, again, an excellent question. If somebody hadn't shared their faith with me, I wouldn't be doing it. And I'm going to be straight up now, listener. I believe in God. I believe in the supernatural. Therefore, I believe in heaven and hell. And I also believe that the Bible clearly says nobody's good enough for heaven. You can't earn your way to heaven. It's a free gift. Once you have the gift, you have eternity sorted. You're going to be in a place where there's no pain, no tears, no worries, forever with God. Now, I know that. So,
how do you know that, though, Rob?
How do I know it?
I'm just thinking that someone could say, that's your opinion.
Good.
They have a very different opinion. How have you come to that conclusion that makes you so certain? At the end of the day, isn't that just something that you believe? It's a kind of a theory, but it's another theory. It's one of many theories. You've got your theory, somebody else may have a different theory. What makes you so certain, Rob, that what you have is true? that makes you passionate to tell other people?
I thought I was going to heaven. I really thought that, you know, at the end of the day, if the balance was up, my good stuff would outweigh my bad. And I'm sure that if there is a God, and if there is a heaven, because I wasn't sure, I'd go to heaven. But the more I looked into it, and you made a very valid point, it's just a theory, it's just your opinion. At the end of the day, dear listener, your opinions matter, and I am not poo-pooing them. But you have to ask yourself this. If I'm right in saying there's a God, I'm also right in saying that God wants a relationship with me, personally, and he sent his son to die, to pay my price, so I could then say, I'm sorry you had to die for me, Jesus. I'm really sorry. Forgive me. And Jesus says, because you realise that I died for you, I accept you, and now you're into heaven. What would I be like if I didn't have that? I'd be lost. I'd just be doing this stuff, having a great time. When I die, what would happen? So here's the bottom line. If we're wrong, you and I, then the worst that can happen is we are two really nice guys who are trying to make a difference in this world and make sure the world's a better place. Fantastic. But if we are right, what's going to happen to you? It's a sobering thought that if we are right, if there is more to this world, and let's be honest, as I'm saying these words, something is stirring inside you. You can't tell me you can't look at a sunset or a sunrise or look up the stars in heaven and not for one tiny second think, ooh, you know, that's big. That's really big. There has to be something more. Well, if you agree there is something more, why are we so, as a human being species, so arrogant to think there's a God? And if there's a God, he can't be better than us. You know, we have to beat God down. No, we're the top of the food chain. We're the most intelligent species on the planet. We own the planet. Therefore, there's nothing higher than us. It's all to do with pride. You know, I had to put my pride aside and realise I'm not the be-all and end-all of my life. I'm not in charge of my life. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a manic depressive sort of thing. It was such a relief to realise, you know, I'm not in charge of my life. Oh, fantastic. I haven't got to worry about my life. I haven't got to worry about getting money or what. Because somebody who loves me more is going to give me the best life. It doesn't mean that I don't get issues and problems, because trust me, dear listener, I've had my share. But I know that this life is brief. Let's say I live to 100. That's amazing. Now, just for a second, accept that what I'm saying is true, that I believe that I am going to live when I die. I'm going to carry on, and I'll never end. 100 years against eternity is nothing. So therefore, I felt that I had to sort out my eternity. And again, just to be fair to the listener, because we're not here to browbeat you or to brainwash you, you have your own free will, you have your own intelligence. I am just saying that using my intelligence and my free will, I realised that this was not a cult, this was not a theory, this was a living God speaking to me through people, through words in the Bible, through sermons, through songs, and ultimately spoke so loud that my own voice was drowned out. My own fears and insecurities were drowned out. And when I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I'll say it again because it's quite large, I gave my life. I gave my responsibility for directing my life from this point on. I gave my hopes and dreams and desires into his hands. It wasn't a burden. It wasn't a horrible thing to do. I laid them down, and I felt an overwhelming love and peace and joy, and my life is sorted. Not just for now, but for eternity.